Hey, great to be back with you. As promised, today we're diving into the 5 most common mistakes buyers make when they are purchasing a home, and avoiding these pitfalls will save you a ton of stress and money down the road. All right, mistake number 1, overestimating how long you'll be in a home compared to your stage of life. We see this a lot with first-time or maybe even second-time buyers shopping for a forever home instead of looking at it as a stepping stone. In past generations, you could buy a permanent house with your first purchase, but the reality is buying is more expensive than it used to be, and the days of buying a house and being able to stay in it through all your phases of life, 20, 30, 40 years, it's just not realistic for most people anymore. A lot of people don't like hearing this one, but it might be that you've got to start smaller. Maybe it's a townhouse or a smaller home just for a couple of years. It's great to think long term, but your first home doesn't have to be and probably won't be your last. Delaying gratification, it's not sexy. And we wish housing was more affordable too, because we'd have more clients, but it's just not the reality anymore. And we did a video recently highlighting the financial differences of owning a home versus renting one for 5 years. The payoff on owning it was shocking, and if you're renting and you want to see a financial breakdown on this in simple terms, check that one out. I'm going to put a link in the description below. Right, mistake number 2, focusing too much on the aesthetics and ignoring the deferred maintenance or looming major system replacements. It's easy to get swept up by a beautifully staged home, but remember to look beyond the surface. That shiny new kitchen won't matter if the roof needs immediate replacing or the HVAC system is on its last legs and you weren't planning for it. The bottom line is everything can be fixed, but it's going to cost something. And I get it, there's something that just feels better about new floors and nice sleek countertops, more so than a clean and dry crawl space, right? Even though the potential costs involved with a nightmare crawl space, often left out of sight and out of mind, could be far more expensive than those cosmetic repairs. So it's important not to get overly excited about the cosmetic stuff. Like most things, there's a balance. Mistake number 3, going with the cheapest repair quote. It's tempting to save money here because home repairs are not cheap. The difference in quotes can often be dramatic, and choosing the right person for the job often won't mean going with the lowest bidder though. Quality matters here, and cheap repair work not done right leads to spending even more than the higher quote might have been. And this could be tough. You've got to do your research and get multiple quotes. And if I had to boil this down to just a few pointers, get multiple quotes in the specialty that you need. Check references and reviews, and then make a decision as best you can. Trust your gut. But if somebody's exorbitantly cheaper than everyone else, it might not be because you've hit a jackpot. Right, mistake number 4, let's pivot back a little bit and talk about inspections again and neglecting those supplemental extra inspections. We touched on this in an earlier video, but I want to expand on it some because the cost of these inspections can add up. But getting them can provide a real return on investment, whether it's an HVAC inspection, an underground oil tank search, a survey. These extra steps can uncover issues that give you negotiating leverage with the seller. They help you avoid costly repairs down the road. Yeah, they cost something now, but they really save you from unexpected surprises later, and they give you negotiation leverage. And so it's rarely a sunk cost. All right, finally, mistake number 5, failing to consider resale value on a home. And this home might be perfect for you right now, but one day you'll need to sell it, most likely. And so, yes, you want to love your home, but not so much that it becomes a nightmare to sell it. And this can be very market specific. For example, a home with significant highway noise might not be an issue in a hot market, but then if you go to sell it in 5 years, the market has shifted. Now all of a sudden, every buyer who walks through is making a big deal about it. And you're like, well, what gives? It didn't bother us when we bought it. And so the key takeaway here is consider resale. And when you're buying, you can get caught up in the excitement of finding a home that meets all your current needs, but you'll likely need and want to sell it one day. And so consider how the overall market might respond to that home. Avoiding these 5 common mistakes are going to set you up for a much smoother home buying experience. Thanks so much for joining us on this journey. If you're ready to get started with your personal home buying journey, then click the link in the description. Sign up for a discovery session. We'd love to talk with you. If you want more information on us, click the link to go over to our Instagram page, and we hope to talk with you soon.